That wooden jewelry box is garage sale junk, Marjorie. Stephanie's voice cut through my bedroom like a rusty saw. Nobody uses these old-fashioned trinket boxes anymore. It's taking up prime real estate on your dresser. I sat on my bed sorting through costume jewelry, the same wooden box that had held my treasures for 49 years. My handwritten letter from Charles lay beside me, the one he'd written before proposing marriage, in this very bedroom. Stephanie picked up the jewelry box dismissively. The carved roses and vine, still beautiful after decades of daily use and careful preservation. Look at these scratches and dings. This thing screams thrift store reject. That box was Charles's first gift to me when we started dating. He carved those roses himself during his lunch breaks at the factory, I said softly, continuing to organize earrings in the velvet-lined compartment he'd designed with love. Exactly my point, Stephanie replied harshly. 49-year-old amateur woodwork from someone with no professional training. It belongs in a garage sale, not displayed, like valuable antique. My son Michael sat scrolling through his phone, saying nothing to defend the box his father had made with patient hand and loving heart before he could afford store-bought gift. Stephanie continued examining the piece like a critical appraiser. These homemade joints are loose. The finish is worn off. The hinges squeak. It's falling apart. From age and use. Falling apart. The box that had protected my jewelry without losing a single earring or breaking one hinge for nearly 5 decades of faithful service. Michael finally looked up, but not in my defense. Maybe Mom could find a modern jewelry organizer, something with better compartment that doesn't look so dated. Better compartments? As if Charles's careful measurement and thoughtful design weren't perfect for my specific collection and personal needs. Silence isn't surrender. It's strength gathering its breath. I'm Marjorie. I'm 73 years old. I live in Millbrook, Michigan. This jewelry box has held every piece of jewelry Charles ever gave me, from our first anniversary to his final Christmas gift before the cancer took him. Today my daughter-in-law called Charles's handmade labor of love garage sale junk that screams thrift store, while I sat organizing 49 years of precious memories in the bedroom where our love story began. But what Stephanie doesn't know is this. Charles didn't just carve roses into the wooden surface. He built secret compartment that will change everything about her assumption. If you've ever felt overlooked in your own home, you'll understand why this moment stayed with me. This bedroom on Cedar Lane has watched over my jewelry box for 49 years of marriage and 7 years of widowhood. Every morning I open it to choose earrings Charles bought for special occasions. The morning light streams through my bedroom windows, the same light that illuminated Charles's hands as he worked on this box in our garage. Every evening after work, for 3 months, I can still hear the gentle whisper of the lid opening, the soft click of hidden mechanisms Charles installed to protect what mattered most to both of us. My handwritten letter from Charles contains his proposal plan, written in careful script before he worked up courage to ask my father's permission to marry his daughter. The bedroom still holds the faint scent of Charles's aftershave from mornings when he'd watch me choose jewelry from compartments he'd measured perfectly for each type of treasure. Some truths arrive quietly but change everything. After Charles died 7 years ago, this jewelry box became my daily connection to his craftsmanship and thoughtful planning. When grief threatened to overwhelm my heart, his wooden gift provided comfort. Stephanie sees only amateur woodwork. That doesn't match modern bedroom aesthetics. She doesn't understand that some objects hold more than jewelry. They hold love made tangible through patient hand. She wants me to modernize everything meaningful, replace handmade treasures with efficient storage that fits her vision of contemporary living without sentimental complication. Michael inherited his father's gentle heart but not Charles's appreciation for handcrafted beauty. He sees potential embarrassment where his father saw pride in creating something lasting. The complaints started subtly, like wood grain showing through worn finish. Stephanie would comment on my outdated bedroom accessories during her increasingly frequent visits. All these old-fashioned pieces make the room look like a museum display. Maybe it's time to update your furniture with modern storage solution. She'd point out functional problem. That jewelry box takes up valuable dresser space. Wouldn't a wall-mounted organizer be more efficient for someone your age, someone my age, 73 years old, and suddenly incapable of managing jewelry in the same box I'd used successfully for nearly 5 decades. Built-in drawers would be better, she'd suggest. No more daily lifting of heavy wooden lids, much easier on arthritic hands. Arthritic hands that opened Charles's box every morning without difficulty, the hinges smooth from his careful craftsmanship and my gentle maintenance. Dignity whispers what anger cannot. The real pressure began when she started bringing furniture catalogs featuring senior-friendly bedroom sets. Look at these modern storage systems, so much more practical than handmade furniture. She'd flip through pages, showing me simplified organization designed for elderly lifestyles. That didn't include sentimental woodwork or personal craftsmanship. We could redecorate this entire room, she'd continue. Get rid of old pieces that don't function properly anymore. Make everything more age-appropriate. Age-appropriate, as if Charles's loving craftsmanship had expiration date, as if beauty created by devoted hands became inappropriate with advancing years. Michael nodded along with her suggestion, not from agreement, but from exhaustion, with topics that created family tension. Every time we gathered, a home remembers the hands that built it. Stephanie began questioning my jewelry collection. Do you really need all these old pieces? Most of them look dated anyway. Wouldn't simpler accessories be more suitable? Simpler accessories. Instead of Charles's carefully chosen gifts that marked every important milestone in our marriage, from nervous courtship to golden anniversary, she suggested I donate my excess jewelry. There are charities that would appreciate these vintage items for people who'd actually wear them. Actually wear them, as if I didn't wear Charles's gift every single day with pride and loving remembrance of the man who chose each piece with such care. Autumn brought cooler morning and warmer criticism of my bedroom arrangements. Stephanie's visits became focused on eliminating what she called outdated storage solutions. She'd arrive with measuring tape and storage catalogs. Today, we modernize your jewelry situation. Find something more appropriate for your current lifestyle needs, as if widowhood required different jewelry storage than married life, as if Charles's thoughtful design no longer suited my daily routines. This old box is a dust collector, she'd insist. Look at these crevices and carved details, impossible to clean properly, not sanitary for someone your age, not sanitary. The box side, dusted and polished every week for 49 years, without accumulating dirt or attracting pests or problems. She measured my dresser top like a space planner, calculating efficiency improvement. This whole surface could be utilized much better with modern organizational systems that would eliminate Charles's loving handiwork in favor of mass-produced storage designed by strangers who'd never met me or understood my specific needs. Some objects hold memories, not value. I started noticing Stephanie's real agenda behind this anti-woodwork campaign. She seemed determined to erase evidence of Charles's presence in our shared bedroom. My handwritten letter from Charles contained information Stephanie had never bothered reading, details about plans he'd made for our future together that went beyond simple jewelry storage, including references to special features he'd built into the seemingly simple wooden box that served purposes beyond jewelry organization for our family's security. Charles's box held more than earrings and necklaces. It contained secret he'd engineered into hidden compartment that only I knew how to access. I wasn't angry anymore. I was awake. Stephanie thought I was a sentimental widow, clinging to amateur woodwork that served no practical purpose in modern bedroom organization. Without understanding its true sophistication, she had no idea what Charles had really created beyond simple storage furniture. No appreciation for the engineering skills he'd developed through years of factory work and patient practice. The confrontation came on a crisp October morning. Stephanie arrived with Michael and business card from Furniture Disposal Services for removing outdated bedroom furniture safely. Furniture Disposal Services, who would haul away 49 years of Charles's loving craftsmanship without understanding its true value or hidden purposes beyond obvious function. Mom, we've been discussing your living space, Michael said, his voice gentle but determined. This bedroom has too much old furniture for someone your age. to maintain properly. Too much old furniture, as if Charles's handmade box was burden rather than blessing, as if craftsmanship became liability when creator could no longer provide maintenance guidance. These senior communities have beautiful furnished apartments, Stephanie added. Professional interior design you wouldn't need to keep personal furniture. That requires constant upkeep and care. Professional interior design, generic beauty created by strangers for profit instead of personal treasures made with love by hands that knew my heart completely. What about Charles's jewelry box? I asked. The roses he carved, the compartments he measured for my specific needs and preferences. You could keep your favorite jewelry, Michael said, in a small travel case. Everything else should probably go to someone who collects handmade items. A small travel case, 49 years of anniversary gift, reduced to portable, selection that fit someone else's idea of appropriate possession for elderly women. The maintenance requirements are unrealistic, Stephanie continued. These old wooden pieces need special care, humidity control, too much work for someone your age. Stories like this remind us that clarity heals more than confrontation. Too much work, polishing wood that Charles had sanded to silk smooth perfection, organizing jewelry in compartments he'd lined with velvet chosen to protect each piece. I've never found it burdensome to care for. Charles's gift, I protested. It brings me joy. Every single morning, when I choose jewelry, he selected with love. But it's not practical for your situation, Stephanie replied. Modern women need efficient storage systems that don't require sentimental attachment to outdated craftsmanship. Modern women, as if love had expiration date, as if craftsmanship lost value when creators died, as if handmade beauty couldn't coexist with practical living. That night I sat on my bed, opening Charles's box for what might be the last time, in my own bedroom, remembering his hands, creating something beautiful, just for me. Tomorrow I would show them what they'd missed in their hurry to modernize my surrounding, what Charles had really built into his simple jewelry box. The next morning brought Stephanie's return with professional furniture appraiser to evaluate your bedroom collection for possible antique value before disposal. Professional appraisers who would examine 49 years of Charles's handiwork through market value rather than emotional significance, missing the real treasure hidden in plain sight. We'll start with the jewelry box, she announced. Assess its actual worth for insurance purposes, then determine disposal or donation option. That's when I decided the time had come to reveal what Stephanie had completely overlooked in her rush to eliminate garage sale junk. Calm truth cuts deeper than loud accusation. Before anyone evaluates anything, I said, I need to show you something about this box that might change your understanding entirely. I opened Charles's jewelry box and began demonstrating features Stephanie had never bothered to discover in her rush to judge its surface appearance. This isn't just amateur woodwork, I explained. Charles engineered this box with hidden mechanisms that serve purposes beyond simple storage. I pressed specific spots on the carved roses in a sequence Charles had taught me years ago and watched Compartment open that Stephanie had never imagined. Some distances heal more than apologies. Secret drawers emerged from what appeared to be solid wooden side, revealing documents Charles had preserved for decades of our marriage, financial record, property deeds, important papers, garage sale junk, I continued quietly, that protected our family's most valuable document for 49 years. Inside the hidden compartment lay certificates and papers that changed everything about our families, financial circumstances, bank account information, stock certificate, insurance policy, real estate holding. Charles wasn't just a factory worker, I explained. He was a skilled craftsman who understood engineering and security systems long before electronic safes were common. Michael arrived as I was, demonstrating more features, hidden spring-loaded mechanisms that protected small valuables, emergency cash, important keys, all cleverly concealed within beautiful design. Dad built all this? He asked, examining mechanisms that revealed his father's true skill level and sophisticated planning. Every hidden drawer, every secret compartment, every protective feature, your father designed and built by hand during evening hours after factory work, I replied. Stephanie's face went pale as I showed her document after document that Charles had preserved in his handcrafted security system, disguised as simple jewelry storage. The professional appraisers found more than furniture value. This was museum quality, craftsmanship with hidden engineering that demonstrated exceptional skill and sophisticated planning. This wasn't about bedroom organization or storage efficiency. This was about Charles's brilliant design that combined beauty with security in ways modern manufacturers never attempted. The silence that followed felt completely different from previous discussions about outdated furniture, this time weighted with awe rather than dismissal of amateur woodwork. Stephanie spoke first, her voice shaking. Marjorie, I had absolutely no idea about these hidden features or Charles's engineering skills. Charles was modest about his abilities, I replied gently. He preferred to let his work speak for itself rather than boast about technical achievement. Michael examined the mechanism, understanding finally dawning about his father's true talents and sophisticated approach to problem-solving and design. He was a master craftsman, not just factory worker, he said, looking at features with new appreciation for their complexity and brilliant execution. He knew valuable things need protection, but also daily access. So he created beauty that served multiple purposes without anyone suspecting. We spent the next hour exploring Compartment that Charles had built into seemingly simple wooden jewelry box, the most sophisticated personal safe ever, created by loving hands. Stephanie apologized for calling the box garage sale junk, for assuming Charles had been amateur woodworker without real skill or professional understanding. I can see now how incredible this is, she said, still visibly amazed, not just as furniture, but as engineering masterpiece. Charles was brilliant, beyond anything I imagined. Some objects hold memories, not value. We talked about going forward differently, about examining craftsmanship before making judgments, about respecting skills that represent lifetime of learning and practice rather than simple hobby work. I want to learn how everything works, Stephanie said. Would you teach me the mechanisms Charles built so I can help protect and maintain this incredible system? And I want to document Dad's engineering, Michael added, create detailed records of his techniques for future generations to understand and appreciate properly. The jewelry box returned to its place of honor on my dresser, no longer hiding secret, but displaying them proudly for family members who finally understood Charles's true genius. Over the following months, our relationships deepened like fine wood finish that improves with time. Stephanie started visiting to learn about Charles's craftsmanship rather than eliminate outdated furniture. Christmas that year felt like celebration. Stephanie brought me professional wood care product for maintaining Charles's masterpiece properly and preserving it for future generations. Michael's gift was a detailed photography session to document every mechanism Dad created and share his engineering genius with Woodworking Museum. If this story touched something familiar, may your next chapter be softer than the last. Your treasured handmade gift matter regardless of others' assessments of their market value or modern relevance. Your right to keep family craftsmanship should be honored, not questioned. Real love recognizes different expressions of skill and devotion. Real care examines hidden qualities before discarding seemingly simple objects. Real protection preserves genius rather than eliminating complexity. Age brings appreciation for craftsmanship that younger generations may not recognize but will value when they understand the love and skill invested in handmade treasures. Sometimes the most beautiful gifts hold more than obvious beauty. They hold ingenuity and love combined in ways that only patient hands and devoted hearts know how to create.